Hugo. Hi, Maya.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi there. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting a text from my husband. We got to figure out what we're going to do. We got to pick up our kids. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's quite all right. And to that point, Maya, obviously we all are having to shift and make some adjustments, but we've been charged to set up a plan for everyone to work remotely. So first off, how's everybody doing? I know we're all a little everything's a little crazy right now. So I know my stress level is heightened, um, but I appreciate the two of you being a part of this team and working on this with me.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yes, well, that brings you to a point. You're talking about your kids. I really wonder, what we're going to do for all the women that work here. I mean, having kids at home is going to be really difficult, so we need to think of how we're going to support them. I mean,
Hugo, I
yeah.
I I appreciate the idea of support, but I assume that it won't only be the women that will have kids at home. So I think we need to consider that for everyone, don't
Well,
you?
um, well, I just thought of it when I saw Maya on her phone. I mean, clearly distracted at the beginning of this meeting, which is totally understandable. I mean, I know you've got kids and a lot going on.
No, thanks. I appreciate that you are concerned about how people are going to work from home, but we're going to find a way and balance it out. I imagine everybody's going to be affected, especially at first in terms of productivity. Honestly, I'm not sure how you're even going to be able to join any meetings or get any work done, Hugo.
What? Well,
Um,
Well, I
I,
mean, this is going to be a very technical undertaking. We're going to have to talk remotely. We're going to have to be, I mean, you are going to have to get you a laptop set up. I'm just not, we need to have a training, I think, for someone like you.
um, Maya, I'm not sure what what the intent was for someone like you, Hugo. I see you're feeling a little put off by that statement.
Mm, Um,
I
Look, I mean, it's sometimes he doesn't even know how to set his out of office indicator on his Gmail. So, I mean, no offense. I'm just trying to get to the point here.
All right, let's just take a moment and step back and take a breath here. Um, I'm sure you didn't mean that to feel insulting to Hugo, but I'm going to be honest. There are times that it took me forever to figure out how to do my out of office properly. And I've undone meetings that I didn't mean to and done it. So I think that to your point, Maya, for all of us, this is going to be something new and different, and we're going to have to set some things up at home. And no matter our age or marital status or anything else, it's going to be a challenge for all of us. And we need to figure out how to support that for everyone. So
Okay.
I, I think it's not a bad idea to have a training session or a time to come together. And I invite either of you, Hugo, I think you're probably well versed in this as well, to help lead that.
um, yeah, and um, I, I mean, I know I have a learning curve with working from home, but I do feel like it's something that I can handle. Um,
So, okay. Okay. So, I'm sorry, tensions are high, as you know. This is not, I haven't experienced anything like this before. I don't think any of us have. Um, so what are the steps here that we need to take to make sure that everybody's taken care of?
Thank you. And thank you, Maya, for saying I'm sorry. And to your point, tensions are high, just as I'm sure Hugo didn't mean to imply that only women will be challenged with that.
Forgive me, Jamie, we're just running a little short on time, so we will.
Absolutely.
I interrupted you there. So I'm just going to ask you a couple reflection questions.
I would love that.
First of all, thank you so much for volunteering to do this in front of everyone. So my first question for you is, in the meeting that you had with Hugo and Maya, what's something you did that you thought went well?
I think the moment that I asked for everyone to step back and take a breath was probably a positive move and something I needed to do myself
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard to know how to. I see the microaggression. I know it needs to be addressed, but the challenge is how to do that without putting the other person on the defensive
Right.
or taking offense to the statement myself
Mm-hmm.
because I could have said, hey, guess what, you know I'm a woman, I can manage this, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not about me, it's about all of us.
Yes, that was a nice moment, Jamie. One thing that can happen when people are under these stressful circumstances and the unknown, and also it's a big transition working from home, from the office, and just all the details as we're all experiencing. So it was great to have them take a breath. They could have just kept building and building and building. It was an emotional moment, but you were able to get them to stop, to listen, to stop just reacting, but start being a little bit more proactive about those next steps of working from home. Great. And if you were going to do it again, what's something you might do differently?
Well, I think, to my point, I don't think it was the smoothest response with the when Hugo made the aggression about the women and kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could have handled that better and been a little more pointed on the fact that it was a microaggression. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure that he understood that. I got an apology out of Maya for hers, but Hugo, I'm not sure, got it.
Right, and there's that idea of asking them open-ended questions to help them understand what ended up happening a little bit in your meeting, perhaps because of just the sake of time and immediacy, was you telling them about it instead of asking them to make those connections themselves about those microaggressions that were happening. So that could be a different tactic to
Absolutely.
try the next time you have the meeting.
And I think, to your point, I did feel a little rushed because at one point
Absolutely.
I wanted to say, Hugo, will you share how that made you feel? Or Maya, would you like to tell Hugo how that made you feel? But then at the same time, I had a hesitation to do that because my fear is it would escalate the situation instead
Yes.
of opening it up. So how to do that, you know, tactfully without making it worse is
Right, how
something I
to
need to
navigate
learn.
that conversation during a challenging time. Well, great. Thank you so much, Jamie, for participating, and I'll turn the webinar back over to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, Jamie. That was fantastic. You put yourself out in a vulnerable place and really showed us the power of